Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. And during this global pandemic, this is a small contribution I would like to make for all my beloved students uh, so that they can understand something of their topics from their syllabus. And here, the topic of the discussion in this online class is poetry of Spenser, Shakespeare and Milton, sonnet sequence and epic poem. So this topic is related with the third sem. It is prescribed in the syllabus of the third sem of BA Honours under Guwahati University. And this is the first video that I made and going to upload in my YouTube channel. So hope you all like it. And this is part 1. So this topic may not be able to cover up in this video, so you have to you need to follow the next video to come. Okay, so you just write down the topic, that is poetry of Spenser, Shakespeare and John Milton, sonnet sequence and epic poem. And this is from paper 3.1. Now let us proceed to the next slide. So when we talk about sonnet, so what comes first in the mind of the students is, what is sonnet? So what is sonnet? See, it is given in the slide. That is a lyric poem. It is a what? Lyric poem consisting of single stanza. It is a lyric poem consisting of how many stanza? Only one stanza and 14 lines. And these lines are linked by a rhyme scheme. So what is sonnet? A lyric poem, single stanza, 14 lines and rhyme scheme. Okay, now let us go to the types of sonnet. So how many types of sonnet? If the question comes that how many types of sonnet, then there are two types of sonnet. Basically there are two types of sonnet: the Italian sonnet or Petrarchan sonnet, and the other type of sonnet is English sonnet, or it is also known as Shakespearean sonnet. So Italian sonnet or Petrarchan sonnet, the rhyme scheme is ABBA, ABBA and CDE. So the first 8 lines with the rhyme scheme ABBA is known as octave, and the last 6 lines, that is sestet, is known as sestet. I mean, the last 6 lines are known as sestet and the first 8 lines are known as octave. So remember that Italian sonnet or Petrarchan sonnet is of 2 parts, that is octave and sestet. So Petrarch, let me tell you who Petrarch is. So Petrarch, he was the Italian sonneter, and he was the contemporary of Geoffrey Chaucer of the 14th century. So Petrarch, he first wrote sonnet in Italian. So this Petrarch, he was the contemporary of our English poet Chaucer, who was the greatest storyteller and the father of English poetry and the grandfather of English prose, Geoffrey Chaucer of 14th century. So Geoffrey Chaucer, Petrarch, Dante, Boccaccio, they were the contemporary of Chaucer and they belong to the 14th century. Okay, now let us go to the next slide. Here, English sonnet. English sonnet is also known as what? Shakespearean sonnet. See, in English sonnet, it is divided into quatrains, 3 quatrains, and the last 2 lines are called couplet. So 4 lines is called 1 quatrain, and the next 4 lines 2nd quatrain, the third 4 lines 3rd quatrain. So 3 quatrains and 1 couplet. But In Petrarchan sonnet, it is divided what? Octave sestet, but here quatrains and couplet. The last two line couplet, it has got same rhyme, that is GG, and they are of same length and parallel lines. Now next, under English sonnet, that is Spenserian sonnet. So Spenserian sonnet was written by Edmund Spenser, contemporary of William Shakespeare, and see the rhyme scheme: AB AB, BC BC, CD CD, EE. But here we find the first quatrain and the second quatrain, they are what? Interlinked. We find a kind of linking, and also the second quatrain and the third quatrain. But this kind of linking we don't find in Shakespearean sonnet. Again, couplet here also in Spenserian sonnet we find the couplet, as this is also an English sonnet. But this Spenser, Edmund Spenser and William Shakespeare, they belong to the Elizabethan age of England. So Elizabethan age, that is from 1558 to 1603, the period of Queen Elizabeth I. So these two sonneters, William Shakespeare and Spenser, they wrote in English, and Petrarchan, he wrote in Italian. And Spenser and Shakespeare, they belong to the Elizabethan age, and Petrarchan, he belonged to the 14th century. That means pioneer of the sonnet. Now next, both Spenser and Shakespeare belong to the Elizabethan age, as I have told you just now, that Elizabethan age started from 1558 to 1603. Shakespeare wrote how many sonnets? See, look carefully. Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets, and the themes of Shakespearean sonnets are love, relationship, and materialistic gain, love, relationship. These are the themes of Shakespearean sonnet. And his sonnets, Shakespearean sonnets from 1 to 126, deal with his friend Earl of Southampton. Again, sonnet number 127 to 154 addressed to a woman whose identity is unknown. So here below I cited an example from sonnet 65. I cited a line, famous line from sonnet 65. There is sell time's best jewel. So time's best jewel, this phrase refers to whom? To Earl of Southampton, the most beloved friend of William Shakespeare. So his sonnets, Shakespearean sonnet, addressed to two persons. First, Earl of Southampton. Second, the unknown lady, the woman. So remember this point. Okay, now the word sonnet. The word sonnet is derived from Italian word sonetto, meaning sound or song. Remember, as I told you at the very beginning of my presentation or my lecture, that sonnet is a lyric poem. Again, it was first pioneered by whom? By the Italian poet Petrarch. So here sonnet, the word sonnet is also derived from Italian word sonetto, meaning sound or song. Now works of Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser, the Fairy Queen, he wrote, which is epic poem. Amority, which was published in 1595. Amority and Epithalamion was the title. And Shepherd's Calendar, which was the collection of pastoral poems. So what is pastoral poems now? Pastoral poem means the poem which is about the countryside life, about rustic life, about shepherd. So that kind of poems are called pastoral poetry or pastoral poems. Now let us move to the next slide. That is John Milton. So John Milton, 1603 to 1674. So John Milton was born in 1603 and 1674 he died. So John Milton was a blind poet. John Milton was a blind poet, and his works Our Paradise Lost, published in 1667, consists of 14 books. So this Paradise Lost consists of how many books? 12 books. Remember, 12 books. And the line to justify ways of God to man. This is the line to justify ways of God to man, to write Paradise Lost. And next, English epics wrote by, or written by John Milton is Paradise Regained, which was published in 1671. Then Samson Agonistes 1671 and Lycidas 1637. When we talked about Greek epics, then Homer's Odyssey and Iliad. Then when we talk the Indian epics, that is the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. So English epics, Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, which were written by the blind poet John Milton. So Paradise Lost, it deals with the first man and woman according to the Christian mythology, that is Adam and Eve. How Adam and Eve were thrown away from paradise because of the flaw, because of their blunder, great mistake of consuming, of having the fruit, that is the fruit of knowledge from Garden of Eden. So from that Garden of Eden, under the influence of Satan, the serpent, Eve persuaded Adam to eat the fruit of knowledge, and that was the first disobedience of man, which you can find in the very first line of Paradise Lost. Let me read out the very first line from the poem, from this Paradise Lost, from this epic poem Paradise Lost. Okay, what the line says: of man's first disobedience. So what was the first disobedience? That is to eat that fruit of knowledge, and the fruit of that forbidden tree of that Garden of Eden. So that was the first mistake of mankind, done by the first man and the first woman. So this is there is a belief that now we see that the snake has got no legs. So this is because of the curse given by the Eve to the snake. Why she gave the curse? Because of this serpent, because of this Satan, Eve forced or consoled her husband Adam to have the fruit of knowledge. So because of that, Eve cursed the snake, that whole life you have to move by your stomach. So because of that curse, I gave an overview of the sonnet and also the epic poem by the great poet John Milton. So this is my part 1. This video is my part 1. So in the next video I will deal with the poem Paradise Lost, and also I will deal with a few sonnets of Shakespeare and Edmund Spenser, how to read the poem and how to choose the rhyme scheme, how to find out the rhyme scheme of a sonnet. All these things, what are the themes that we talk, like love, friendship, and materialistic gain. So all these things will be discussed while reading the sonnets and also John Milton's Paradise Lost. So if you like this video, then please subscribe my channel so that I can come up with more and more videos. And this is done to help all my dear brothers and sisters during this crisis of time due to global pandemic. So thank you for watching.